gathered in Eyre Square to call stop. We had a big crowd. We only organised it at 24-hour notice. 2 weeks ago, about 100 of us from Galway went to Dublin and marched together to call for a ceasefire. But our politicians are not listening. Maybe the Irish ones are, the European and the American ones are not. And all we're asking is to stop the slaughter of innocent children in Gaza. So I am here to say that it's wrong. I'm here to say that it's wrong. The last toll last night was 9,257 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes. 3,826 of them are children. It's unthinkable. I'm Irish, I'm old enough to remember the Troubles. We didn't have that in 29 years in Northern Ireland. What's happened in just 2 or 3 weeks in Gaza. It is shocking. I'm also here as a journalist. 35 journalists and media workers were confirmed dead. 30 Palestinian, 4 Israelis and 1 Lebanese. And I'm thinking today about the brilliant kids from the Al Halal Academy in Gaza who met a lot of you guys here in Galway in 2016 and 2017. I'm thinking about my friend Eyre, who's a banker in Galway City, or in Gaza City. He is not a terrorist. He is the chairman of a football club that tries to give a bit of hope to children. He loved his 2 visits to Galway and wanted to start a partnership with Irish clubs. But guess what? Those kids have not been allowed out of Gaza ever since 2018. They're stuck there in a tiny place half the size of County Louth. They don't have a chance. I'm a friend with Eyre on Facebook. I have seen his feed non-stop over the last 3 weeks. 3 of the little boys from that academy have been killed in airstrike. Not the boys who came to Galway, but their friends, the lads who played football with them. Don't tell me or anyone here that those kids are Hamas. They're too young to vote. All they want to do is play football and maybe see a little bit of the world sometime outside Gaza. But they're not allowed because the Israelis and the Egyptians have them trapped in to the open-air prison. So what's going on right now is not fighting terrorism. It's the annihilation of innocent children. It is disgraceful to tell 1 million people in such a tiny place that they need to leave their homes. I here and a couple of my friends from the Galway Palestine Solidarity campaign raised more than 4,000 euros in Massimo's 5 years ago, I think, to bring those boys to Galway. We never could. We eventually had to give that money to Trócaire because they haven't been allowed out. So let's not pretend that the injustice in Palestine or in Gaza started on October the 7th. As an Irish person, I condemn all attacks on civilians, and that includes Israeli innocent people as well, whether they're arrayed in the desert or children. But do not try to say that the Palestinian people have no right to self-defense, because we're sick of hearing European and American leaders talk about Israel's right to self-defense. Absolutely sick of it. We're absolutely sick of Ursula von der Leyen going up and putting the Israeli flag on a big European building in Brussels. She did not ask the Irish people for permission to do that. We're absolutely sick of Joe Biden coming back here to the west of Ireland and talking about his lovely Irish roots and how he comes from Ballina. Shame on you, Joe Biden. Your ancestors come from a land where our language was taken from us. It was made illegal to teach our own children our own beautiful native language. People here in the west of Ireland were dispossessed from their own homes. Ulster was planted by people who didn't belong there, and the people who lived there were run off their land. The Irish people are in America, didn't go there for holidays. They went there to escape oppression. Just like today, Palestinians live in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Syria, in refugee camps. Why? Because this Nakba, this catastrophe, started in 1948 with the arrogance of a British man called Balfour, who decided to just give a bit of land to the Jewish people of Europe. And just to say, I have 100% solidarity with the Jewish people who stand with us and say that Israel does not commit these atrocities in their name. In fact, in Dublin 2 weeks ago, when 100 of us from Galway travelled together, one of the most heartening things from an emotional day was seeing the people from Jewish Voice for Peace Ireland in one corner. And the amount of people from the Arab world, from Syria, from Lebanon, from Morocco, from Tunisia, and Irish, who kept coming up to them, hugging them, thanking them for their bravery for standing up against what Zionism has become in 2023. Now, like you all here, I'm quite upset today at what's happening for our own friends and family in Gaza, and we have already had to change the running order today because we have a brilliant woman from Gaza living here in Galway, an absolutely prism woman who has spoken at every rally we have done, at danger to herself. Her elderly parents are in Gaza, and last Friday the phone and electricity was cut off and she couldn't even check with them. Imagine trying to go to work and your parents live in a tiny place which is overcrowded and there are bombs falling around their apartments, and don't tell us that that's fighting terrorism. Now, unfortunately, that woman cannot be with us today because she only found out last night that her uncle has gone missing. So this is for you. This solidarity gathering is for you because she is one of the most amazing people I've met in my life. I'm also here in solidarity with the Ladji dancers who did a sold-out concert in the Town Hall Theatre last year and have great links with dancers in Connemara. Those kids have grown up in a refugee camp in the West Bank outside Bethlehem, the Eyre camp. Their camp is raided so often by aggressive, racist, settler colonial soldiers. But we don't hear about the West Bank at the moment, we're only hearing about Gaza. One of our members wrote an amazing article in the Galway Advertiser this week. Please check it out. It's about the terrible atrocities that are also happening in the West Bank right now. So, as I said, our first speaker can't be with us today, but I want to start with a Palestinian doctor who lives here with us in Galway, Dr. Ehab.